Welcome back to another episode of the LanceScurv podcast. We're going to bump it up every day until we get the message out, whether you like it or not. Today, we're going to talk about racism. And I say it's as American as apple pie. Today is one of those I don't care days. I'm going to say what I got to say, regardless as to who likes it or not. We'll go curl up somewhere and hide. Because I'm telling you, it's funny how many Caucasians want to say we cry victim, but when they get some bite back, they want to cry. But we're the victims, but we are not victims by nature. But you just can't leave us alone. You say you don't like us. You say you don't want us around. You say nasty things about us, but you can't keep from getting up under us. Then what you think you're going to get? And you want to cry racism when we don't want to be bothered with you. You treat us a certain way. You act a certain way toward us. And when we don't want to be bothered with you, oh, you're racist. I can prove it time and time again. Let me say something here. I am sick and tired of these people, these parasitic people, because they are parasitic. They do nothing for you, but they take. That's a parasite. I don't need parasites in my life. I'm trying to do good. I am about something in my life instead of hitching on to something else to suck from it while I live a do-nothing life. How about that? Now, I put out a post a while ago, a short actually, and it's about Nigeria. And the title of it actually is Nigeria becomes the first country to ban foreign models in advertisements. And I got that from several sources, several Black news websites. And all I said, I don't know if you can hear it or not. I'm not going to try to play it because you might not hear it. But it was a 15-second clip that stated that Nigeria was going to ban non-Nigerian models. And what's the reason for that? Well, there's several reasons for that. Reason number one, we need to see Black faces on the advertisements of Black countries. And I applaud them. And 95% of the respondents agreed with what was done. Because you have European Caucasians, other people who are models that have dominated in Nigeria, and they said no more. Our models need to be up on our billboards, because when our models go worldwide, the majority of them can't get work. You may have some token few that those other types of races, they can say, well, we have Black people here. So they put a cap on it. And then they started to rag Nigeria, saying what a crappy nation it is, although they're low in debt, have lots of oil, and they're a young nation. But what do you expect? There's going to be corruption in a young nation. And these people overwhelmingly, who are the pink parasites of the world, naturally disfigured entities that the sun doesn't like and burns. The world minority is at 9% of the population. But they twist it around, you know, they call you minority. Yes, Naeem Ali. Yes. It's 2 a.m. over there, huh? Oh, good. You know, over here, it's 10:47, but I just was inspired. I was up from early. Felt like I was coming down with something, but I said, you know what, whether my throat is dry or congested, I'm going to talk. And I'm tired of these people feeling entitled that they can just come up and say these stupid things. This is why racism is the process by which systems and policies, actions and attitudes create inequitable opportunities and outcomes for people based on race. And the source is Oxford Languages and Google. I'm going to let this flash on the bottom so these knuckleheads can go back to their favorite platforms and check out what racism is. I'm going to say it again. Racism is the process by which systems and policies, actions and attitudes create inequitable opportunities, unfair opportunities and outcomes. Unfair. Landon, how are you? Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's good to feel the love this early in the morning. the world is void of love. You know, love is shown when people need something from you, but y'all don't need nothing from me. I love y'all and y'all love me, and it's organic. I'm going to keep on being who I am. And as a matter of fact, like that wine that gets better with age, you pop the bottle open 20 years from now, I'll taste even sweeter. But anyway, see, they want to, how are they going to want to call us racist? Number one, you worried about what's going on in the comment section of a video that has nothing to do with you. The internet was created by a black man anyway, and we're talking amongst our own people. And just like it is your nature, you have to push your hook nose right up in somebody's business. See, when you push your nose up in somebody's business, you just have to deal with the consequences. You ain't supposed to be there. Oh, yeah, you can come there. You can say what you want, but deal with the consequences. 95% of the people were in favor of that news in that video. It was put out September 1st. I uploaded that short. I was coming out of the mall. I found out the news. I said, let me talk about this. It was September 1st. It's got right now 308,000 views on it. 1/3 of a million and rising fast. Several of my shorts are going that fast. I don't know what it is. Maybe I got a big mouth. But this is what it is. They want to push their nose where they're not welcome because they feel superior. Now, anybody else coming to the chat room, I'm just going to kind of zone out right now. I'm not ignoring anybody. I'm just going to say what I say, right? Take a sip of this tea. Give me a second. And we're going to cook. Why is it that they want to call you racist? Listen, we never Jim Crowed them. We never kidnapped them and used them for 400 plus years of free labor. Use their women as sperm receptacles at will. Killed and lynched them. And they want to talk about slavery. Well, slavery was basically about the economics. Let's say it was about the economics. The economics for who? Who benefited from the economics of slavery? You acting like we did. You did. Well, I don't have anything to do with slavery and I didn't benefit from it and I'm not racist. Well, you're the beneficiary of it. If your granddaddy and your great granddaddy robbed banks all their life and put the stash up in the attic of your home that you grew up in and they died, and you went up there and found all these millions of dollars they accrued over so many years, you were the beneficiary of what they did. It was wrong what they did, but you chose to keep that positioning from which that money garners you. It gives you some financial power. So you say, I'm going to keep this. See, if you had any moral backbone, you'd give that money back, but you don't. And then you turn around and hate the banks from which they got the money from. Ain't that something? You turn around and hate the banks. See, we were money to you. But this hating us because of the color of our skin, you can say it's economics, but when did that come in? Look at the picture. A young black girl being bussed in to a predominantly white high school. And these evil, look at the looks on their faces. Look at the evil look on the guy on the right, far right. Face is a little small. He's laughing, but it's an evil laugh. And look at these women. Maybe they're dead now. Maybe that young girl is still alive. But maybe the grandchildren of these white women who sat around the tables with them and spoke on different ideologies that passed it down to the core on some of these people who are the supervisors on your job who will always keep you down and promote one of them or somebody else. Unless that person happens to be homosexual and sucking up their crotch sauce at lunchtime, they ain't gonna do it. I said it, crotch sauce. Sauce that erupts from the crotch upon orgasm. Okay? It feels real good when somebody does that. That's the only way that you promote them. Let's be real. And we're so messed up amongst ourselves that we have so many divisions. Haven't you heard of the term divide and conquer? You got the political divisions. Oh, I'm Democrat and you're Republican, conservative, libertarian, whatever. So then you got a room full of black folks split up along political lines. Then bring religion into it. Well, I'm a Christian, and even under that, I'm Presbyterian, I'm Baptist, you're Methodist. Then you bring in the atheists. Then you bring in the other religions. I'm Muslim. I'm Wiccan. Hell, maybe we ought to try Wiccan. It'll do us better. Enough of them are doing it. And then you have the different orientations. I'm gay. You're bi. I'm transgendered. I'm transsexual. And we adopt all of these different categories to split us up. While the people who are racist, who are in power, see, we don't have the power to do to these people through systems and policies. What systems do we run? What policies do we make? What actions do we take? What attitudes do we have that stops them from doing what they need to do for themselves? White privilege. They don't want to hear that. Whether they want to believe in that or not, it's there. They can never conceptualize a world from our side. And I'm going to keep talking about it because it's real. While they may not look at you all the time like that, deep down, it comes out on the internet. And never before in the history of man, these last 20 or so odd years where we had open communication online, could they peer in to listen? Welcome in, Ghost Walker. Much love and appreciation. Can they peer in and peek in, because they nosy? Now they see we don't want nothing to do with them. Now they see that we know that we can do it for ourselves. Well, hell, if we can do it for them and build their nation up, let's just pick the UK. Let's pick America. Let's pick any nation we're in. We propel it to greatness. If you remove us, you wouldn't have what you have with your weak backs. Like Minister Farrakhan said in my favorite song, your backs were too weak. He needed you, black man. Though you a pregnant black woman, you pulled the plow like a horse, like a dog, even a cow. He filled your womb with his wicked seed. His half-white children you were made to breed. Is there anything wrong with that? Yes, it is. But what's more wrong than anything is if we don't understand that's the way it is and was. Much respect, Ghost Walker. We're in denial. We want to apologize. Like Don King said, Don King could be kind of a crook sometime in the sport of boxing. But like he said, you got to apologize for putting your head in front of the stick that he's whipping you with. Oh, Massa, I apologize for the 60 times I put my head in front of your stick. This is how we are. But they come up on the comment section, especially of that one particular one. I'm going to drop it. Let me see. I get the link because I don't know if it'll play. There have been some technical difficulties, but that's okay. Let me get the link. And excuse me for being a little congested, but you know what? Let snot fly because I'm going to talk. I don't care. Look, with any black man who stayed alive in this country, which I'm not in this country no more, I'm in Ghana. I got away from them. I don't want to see them. I don't love them. But I say I'm officially at the old man phase. And when you're in the old man phase, you don't give a damn what you say. If somebody steps on your toes, they better apologize quick. If not, they're going to get it, and they're going to get it every time they see you. I am in the old man phase. I don't have as much time as when I was 15 and 20 years old. So I'm going to live my life the way I want to, where I am. And if I don't want to be around these pink parasites or coons or gossips or leeches, then I'm going to say it every time, damn it. That's right. There ain't no dysfunctional thing here because I am not going to die from emotional constipation. Y'all play that dysfunctional stuff, holding stuff in. As a kid, I'm going to tell you, as a young kid, I ain't hold my doo-doo and I let it go until you smell something stinking. All right? I'm not going to sit here and cramp up in denial and make myself sick. No way. I don't play that game. At this age, too, April 8th, we're going to celebrate my birthday. I turn 60 years old, God willing. And everybody who lives on this earth who's been through the foolishness and dysfunction for many decades and many years, you need to move toward a place of absolute freedom, not that fake thing, tiptoeing through the tulips. And I have a lot of years growing up in America spelled with 3 Ks to tell you the exact thing that's going on. But we're supposed to swallow that. We're supposed to stay and beg for reparations. Please, Master, give me a little pinch of what we earned. No, little Negroes, you don't deserve it. The Asians deserve it. Asian hate. We have to protect Asians. What? So basically, we got to get to the back of the line. Israel gets so much billions of dollars and they got money already. What? Adolf Hitler does something to them and America's paying them. But America's done stuff to us and they ain't paying us. So leave the system. Brother Yapo, yes. Wow, get some sleep, brother. Beverly Johnson, UK, much love. And it's not about hooting and hollering and you're playing the victim. We're playing the victim, but you call us racist? Ho, 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 ho. You do this, excuse me, I'm burping over here and everything. You do this stuff to us, gain from it, and you call us racist. So we're supposed to just sit down and be quiet. So you call us racist for stating something happening in a black country that you ain't got nothing to do with. Your politicians want to deal with Nigeria because we got the oil over here. But you so ignorant, you don't know what's going on. And you want to call it a corrupt nation. But look at the nation that you're in. So much corruption and child molestation and sex trafficking and drugs and police killings and poisoning people and lying about certain things and conditions to make us take a medicine that's going to kill us off. Really? You mad when we speak freely and you get to hear how we talk and we don't want to be bothered with you. That's got to be a bad feeling when somebody don't want to be bothered with you. Well, why would they? After the treatment that they've had to endure. And if you want to say slavery was economics, well, let's just say that this is economics. Let them little flat behind models go back to their own country and make their little, nobody want to see them no more. And y'all know it's true. Even your own white men don't want to look at you no more. That backside that you don't possess. And they want to say that you're the most beautiful woman in the world. No, you're not the most beautiful woman in the world. You see the shapes on these women. You see the melanin on these women, the life force on these women. And you jealous of that because we know our women are the most beautiful in the whole world. If you're mad by the way God made you, then you take that up with him. But you all are so fascinated with us. Y'all are sick. Y'all remember Craigslist? I did a show on it one time where in the personals ads, there wasn't a city or a hick town across America where there wasn't some white couple trying to get a black man into bed with them. Ooh, I'm telling secrets. I have been approached numerous times, especially back in my bodybuilding days, for that foolishness. To me, somebody ain't from this planet, as evil as they are by nature. But they want to get mad when I reflect on the actions and what I've had to experience. Again, if you don't know what I'm talking about, look at what's scrolling across the bottom. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to read it. Read with me, like the little dot that would jump over the songs in the 60s on TV. Racism is the process by which systems and policies, actions and attitudes create inequitable opportunities and outcomes for people based on race. So how are we stopping you from advancing by wanting to be with our own? How come every organization that we have has got to be infiltrated by you? Or you send somebody in there who looks like us. Or you have one of those with the secret handshakes and Freemasonry. Side up with us and talk the talk and run back and tell massa. Eastern Stars, the occult people, all the wicked and sick practices that you do. And those who don't know about the higher levels of that, you think it's something good. Wait till you get them devil books to start reading and you can't talk then. We got to wake up and get real as to what's going on, because most people around us are not our friends. Even our own black people, African people talk that righteous talk. They want to get next to you to destroy you if you're doing good, or they want to siphon from you over time because you're a nice person. So keep hooking me up and giving me things. Let me use you and we'll smile and have you duped. See, I was speaking with someone the other night, and it's when you get to those next dimensions of existence on this plane and you can see things so clear for what it is, it hurts to not speak on it. You see, when you're in a lower dimension or even the third dimension, see, when we so-called die, which we don't die, they die. That's why they want us to have a fear of death like them, but it's transition. I welcome transition. I'm like that street dude, and I'm not a street dude, but I'm just going to use a weird example. I'm like that street dude that gets arrested and he's laughing because he's going to get locked up with all his friends. It's like, yo, all my friends are there. I ain't got no job. It's cold outside. You mean you're going to have me locked up, hanging out, playing cards and exercising with my friends and feed me and I can sleep and no bullets are flying? Take me on in. Let me do another crime. Cop, let me kick you in your leg, make the sentence longer. So when it comes to transition and you finally don't fear this thing called death and realize this transition, they hate to see that. Because really and truly, the way I was never raised to think of an end. It was always a continuation. It may be something that we don't know exactly, but it's like going into somebody's house and they tell you, oh, go in that room and put your coat down on that bed in the room. They told you this, you haven't seen it yet, but now for the first time, you enter a new room, you enter a new level. And so for me, my mama's there, my daddy's there, my great-grandparents are there, friends are there, friends I haven't seen in 30 and 40 years. There's a brother I knew when I was, I'd say about 12 years old, and he was lynched in New York. Didn't get too much press now, did it? At 12 years old, I'm going to see him there too when I go. And see, when you move in a higher dimension, as you progress, and I'm going to use my airplane analogy and runway analogy after this also, but when you ascend to that level of awareness, everything in the prior dimension is so clear. You see it for what it is. It takes other Negroes 5 and 10 years to catch up with you and say, man, I don't know how you saw that in this person, but you were so right. And when they know you walk in the fourth dimension, these pink parasites and black coons, they flee when they see you coming because they feel everything that they have hidden inside of them is revealed because you can look right through them. And you coming with the fire. You ever spray roaches or spray bugs? You ever do that? You see one bug and you spray in the general direction, and now you see 50 other bugs that were hiding there all along running. Ain't that something? Yes, we're going to chop it up here. I'm waiting for you, man. We can do it today. We can do it tomorrow, whenever. We're going to do it because you come with some fire too. I'm still thinking about that conversation. That conversation we had with so much fire that I remember where I was standing when I had it. And with this phone with a ringer don't ring, when I turn the ringer up, I've been missing your calls. And we'll talk about some other private things when I get to you. You'll understand why I've been so covert. I'm the shadow. And for some people, you can nickname me and call me Vladimir Putin. because I'm going to drop some nuclear bombs on anybody who comes in my way. I was not put here to babysit other people's hangups and tiptoe. No, get out. I'm in the old man phase. It's so liberating. It's like a woman who went through menopause and now she can have a lover and not worry about birth control. Ain't that something? I'm liberated now. But listen, when you vibrate on that dimension, you can see what you may understand right before your transition. But the earlier you conquer this level is the more you can see through things. And it's like those students who will push forward to a higher grade because they mastered the prior grade's work. Why keep them there? As a matter of fact, when you're thinking on the fourth dimension and you hanging out with people in the third dimension, it's quite boring. Because all they can do is eat, sleep, doodle, urinate, and maybe procreate to bring more ignorant individuals into the world because they have nothing to give them. Ignorant people bring ignorant children. So now we're going to have all kinds of people vibrating low. Look at the world the way it is. We have these young kids in our neighborhood who are just using sex as friction and as escape from these conditions. They have nothing else to do. But what do they have to teach these children when it was just merely a biological function? And then as they get older, we try to grace them with all this respect. Oh, yes, you're this great mother. You know, what? When you was raising hell a couple years earlier and still raising hell? Nah, we got to have accountability for ourselves. And whether you like it or not, the brother that died, Kevin Samuels, you didn't like his delivery. But the more and more I listened to him for accountability, and of course he spiced his stuff up for hits. He spiced his stuff up to get eyes on it. But really, if we had more uncles and fathers and brothers who would stand on truth. And now I can see why certain individuals are so rebellious, because they were like that from young. Their mama was like that. They like that. Their daughter like that. Their granddaughter's going to be that way. You walking up on a lineage of this stuff, just like with these crackers. They've been this way. They can't stop it. They can't help themselves. They've only been exposed to certain things. And they hate to see. But are they upset with what their grandparents and fathers and what they still do now? They don't call it out. But you say you don't want to be around them. Oh, you're racist. You're continuing the continuing. I had to answer back one woman and tell her, listen, continuing, let's take it back some. You mad because Nigeria is banning models, but did it result in over 400 years of free labor? And the torture that you did to us? And the raping and the robbing? Any business that starts out with 400 years of free labor, that's going to be a hell of a business. You ain't got to pay nobody out. You went over there and got free land? Let me get some free land and some free labor for like 2 years and I'm a millionaire multiple times over. Free? And then you want to turn around like you're entitled and you're great, like you earned this. You're the biggest thieves on the planet. Anywhere you've gone in the world, you messed it up. You took it from the people who were there and twisted it around and want to put your butt up on your shoulders and push your chest out. And I'm supposed to be quiet about that? Look at the young girl in this picture, man. Look at her. And they had to bring the military out. Look right next to her face from your left, right there. And these people are still up on her, screaming on her like that. They shouldn't even be allowed to go near her. And whoever her name is, I remember seeing the program and hearing all of that. We know. We can research if you want. I'm just going to talk about it. She had to have balls. And I don't mean male testicles, but the fortitude to go through with this. Exactly. Yeah. And I'm looking at him too. I'm like, wait a second. He don't look like he got too much. You know what I mean? Like if something jumped off, would you really step in there and help that sister? Oh, see, but they hate them going to the same school. When we should have our own schools or do our own homeschooling. But all of these white women don't realize that their husbands would run after a young girl like that and have their way. Were they mad at that? You see how they can be? And look at the other one in the back with the hat, trying to hide his face. And the other one behind him with the glasses. That's how they do. And they know how to come and speak to you so nicely. Like, in a sense that I'm not like them. I'm not like the others. But you know where to be found to straighten them out when they come at one of mine like that. They play these mind games with you. Like Muhammad Ali said in an answer, in an interview, if there was 1 million snakes outside that were venomous and poisonous, looking to come through the door that you're about to close, but you knew 10,000 of those snakes were nice snakes, what you gonna do? Hold the door open and let the 10,000 and all the other ones come in and bite you up? Shut the door, because those snakes have no problem with the nice snakes, do they? See, the nice snakes can navigate amongst the bad snakes, but we can't. So when we want to shut the door on all of them, which I see is really necessary, I mean, when you need a clean out in your gut, do you go and eat Wendy's and KFC and ice cream and sugary treats? No, you get rid of all of it until you are well. Because when you're brought to a point, because, you know, I unofficially have PTSD and I can get triggered quick these days, as many have found out and will find out. You don't hold that in. You leave it alone. You leave the bad food alone until you get yourself cleaned out. Get yourself cleaned out with peace of mind. Get yourself cleaned out. When you're doing that enema or you drinking them herbs to clean, you don't want to go hang out with the fellas. You don't want to go to the shopping mall because you're going to have dung all over the inside leg of your pants. You've got to separate yourself to detox from the stuff that you've been through. And people who don't understand that is going to have a stinkified situation. And it ain't just going to be me, because I'll sling some doodle on somebody. That's just the way it's got to be. These people have earned it. And those who are in your life, either if they're white or black or purple, and they earn it, bring it. Because you've had opportunity to make amends. They want to pay everybody else, but they don't want to help to restore. This is how deep their hate is. You got Joe Biden, who can't even walk right, walking up the steps and falling up the steps, riding bikes and falling off, shaking hands with the invisible man. And he's your leader? You foolish people who go for a party when you should go for yourself? Like I said, it doesn't matter who the president is. You got to cut your lawn. It don't matter who the president is. You got to wipe your backside. It don't matter who the president is. When you're hungry, your hunger doesn't hit his brain. When you're hungry, you got to take care of feeding yourself. And when you're horny, he ain't sending no sexy woman by you to take care of you at night. You ass out. You got to take care of your life for yourself. Only you, because you're born alone and you die alone. And we have this journey along with others and along in this world, and we got to stand up. And if we can't stand up collectively, hell, I'm going to stand up for myself. I am my own lawyer. I'm going to defend myself. I'm going to defend myself and speak my feelings. That's what my mama and daddy always told me. If you got the pebble in your shoe, you got the right to stop, take that shoe off and shake it out. I don't understand these black people who talk so strong behind closed doors, and when they get up to speak and say something, they want to water it down with the kumbaya moment. I close the door on all the snakes. If you a nice snake, you had enough time to show that you were a good, right, and just snake. But all of y'all are snakes, and some of y'all black people are snakes. So right now, in my period of cleansing, me personally, I don't want to be around none of them. Now, my family here that I know, whether I saw you face to face or not, Brother Yappa, we gonna ride. We gonna ride with the people in the chat room here until they prove that they're not worthy. Once they do that, you out. It's like those jobs. Those federal jobs, those very sensitive federal jobs where they got to check your background time and time again, and they will go back to first grade. We in the computer age now, ain't too much getting away from us now. You do a little dirt here and you want to run from it, it's in the computer somewhere waiting to get your ass down the line. Most of the time, it's just a phone call away. So we're in a different time right now. Accountability, there is no running away. But we think we can do that. And on a cosmic level, and this ain't no churchified talk, but like I say, nature is about balance. And everything is balance. So you can go for a time and get away from the judgment and the assessment. But it's not a judgment, it's an assessment. And you're responsible for this. You got to understand that. See, judgment is when you don't know. Well, you can't judge. Well, you can't judge. But if you have the measurement, if I say judge the distance between here and this wall, you don't know, but you're given a guesstimate. But if I whip out the tape measure, I know exactly the distance between where you stand and the wall. And you're going to say that's judging? No. You do this, this is what's there. See, if you go as a man in some next man's house and lay in the bed with his wife, and the man comes home and she gets up, oh my God, and he gets up and runs. Well, if you ain't guilty, why you run? Because you know you ain't supposed to be there. That's not guessing. That's an assessment based on all things prior that have happened and that are not supposed to be going on. So look at their history. Could you imagine? And I always say this. Imagine we had smartphones back in that day. Imagine. Oh, I didn't even hit this. Let me hit this. That's the short, the Nigerian short. You can watch it, share it. Please share it. Let's get the hits on it up more. Let's get some more of these people commenting on it so I can smash them down in another show. I'm in the smash phase right now. You know, sometimes you just got to ball up your fist and, hey, let's forget the talking. Let's just start swinging. And every time I see you, I'm going to keep on swinging. You're going to say, oh, damn, why did I even open up this Pandora's box? I should have done right. And they're going to keep on coming. You're going to see them in the comment section of this video the same way. You're talking hate. Well, if I am, I learned from the best. Everywhere you've gone, even now, you're going against each other. Ukraine and Russia. And when I said call me Vladimir Putin, I didn't say call me that because I'm some white man. But within their hierarchies, I'm that dude who will drop a nuclear bomb on you and not give a damn. Because that's what he's talking about now. And I don't think that man's bluffing. And people think I bluff. There's like times he used to mess with me in school when I was a nerd, when I was young, and I bust them in their mouth and drop them down to the ground. Now they're sitting there holding their mouth looking stupid. I've tried to be this guy, this kind, polite, you know, ever forgiving guy. But after a while, it's like, I don't bluff. You can hit me. It'll hurt. You knock my teeth out, whatever amount of teeth I got left in my mouth. But guess what? The fight ain't never going to be over. That's the kind of person I am. Until you bitch up and beg or whatever have you. Because see, 95% of most of these men out here in situations, even these racists, whatever, they got to clan up on you, but they can't stand in front of your face to face. They don't know what manhood is. And don't call me no alpha male. I'm a sigma male. And if you don't know what that is, look it up. I get along fine with people. I get along fine. I could have got along fine in America, but I got too much of that foolishness. Like, wait a second. And my parents gave me the heads up on how things were and are and how to move amongst it. But they never taught me to be a coon. They never taught me to go along to get along. They told me to be shrewd, calculating. That I am. But sometimes you got to let it out. And after these comments, which don't upset me to make me mad and take me away from my destiny, because see, the bottom line, racism and the way they have the systems set up is to take you off from you manifesting the best that you can be. Let's not forget this. I'm going to tell you this. Look, I rant and I say all kind of crazy things. I'm going to tell you this. I want you to remember it. You are here to hone yourself and perfect yourself and make you the best version of yourself. And this thing called, look at the picture. The girls going to school and these grown ass women getting up. Could you imagine? And somebody happened to be there to take the picture. We're seeing it right there. What happened if the photographers weren't there to take the picture? Do you think it was some poor black man with a camera? Cameras were expensive. You had to go develop these things. Wasn't no phone you can click and send it right away. So all of these images that we have from back at that time, that is probably 1/10 of 1% of what was going on out there. Imagine we had pictures where they were cutting out black babies out of the stomach. Would that be enough to convince you their bloodline, their DNA shared with dogs that want to have blood? They go to the restaurant. I want my steak rare. I love blood. Looking for any excuse to go to war with you, to steal your resources all over the country, all over the world, rather. And they go report it where we're going in because of the atrocities in that country. Yeah, they got oil. Just like you so fast as a man to run up in that house and help that lady because she got them big titties hanging out. Like it's not them big titties you want to go in there and see. She's having a seizure. Let me help her. Oh my God, she is exposed, and you're staring. You know you ain't there to help. You want to get your hands on the nipples. Let's be real. I know I'm shocking sometimes, but I can't hold it no more. I'm in the old man phase, y'all, and I love it. I'm in the Paul Mooney phase, where I'm going to say exactly what I want to say. Big up to Paul Mooney. Yeah, they say some things about him might be suspect, and they may say he's a coon because he ran with the white folks. But what he said, see, I'm going to be more real than that because I'm not down with these folks. They're not backing me. If anything, they're coming against me. We know that that's proven. And I don't hate nobody, but you're going to make me not want to be around you, and you want to treat me like I'm hating you. And coming up with these comments and saying I'm racist because I don't want to be around you. I want to be. You want to be around that? Look at this picture here. You want to be around that? No. But always strive to be the best you can be. And here they come to get in your way, whether it's on a scholastic level, on a sports level, on a spiritual level. They're coming to keep you from reaching your pinnacle. And it's not just racist people or racist system. It's the do nothing people. They have nothing going for them and they ain't trying to do nothing, but they don't want to see you do nothing. Don't want to see you do nothing. You strive and they sitting there looking at you all day. Don't you got something to do? I know I got something to do. And nothing is going to stop me from doing what I need to do to leave my mark for the people behind me and my children, so they can benefit from what their father or this person that they like on the internet has shared. And they don't have to agree. And they may think I'm crazy until they live a little bit in America or the UK and understand what I'm saying. I'm not going to try to come out and say it in some poetic way, well, we must have dignity. Yeah, of course. We're born with dignity. It's this world that takes it away from us, this decadence that they promote. And we're stripped of it. They know we're kings and queens. So they love to see all women half naked and shaking up and twerking. They like that. They like the men who go after the women just for that. That's why we end up in these jacked up situations, because we're going into them with lust. Like the dude I always talk about when I was bouncing in the club in Orlando, Florida, right there on John Young Parkway in Route 50. Oh, man, look at her ass, man. Shoot, man. That's the best ass I ever saw. I'm going to marry her. You going to marry somebody on the basis of 2 booty cakes? Is the booty cakes going to give wisdom to your children? Is the butt cakes going to keep a home? And when they got them things, you better keep them things covered, because if they out there in the yard bent over, there's going to be Negroes coming to get them same booty cakes. That's the way it is. We're so much on the lower vibration. And when you go on a higher vibration, you can see these things. And they say to themselves, how did they beat me to the punch? How did they know? How can they read me like a cheap novel? I'll stand in front of anybody they want me to and read their ass like a cheap novel. And am I saying I'm perfect? No, because I'm human too. Sometimes it's nice to slip back into the ways of the lower vibrational. It's fun to do that, but you don't want to stay there too long. You want to rise back on up. And like I said before, this life, we don't know how long we have in this life. And that's good that we don't know. Because if we knew, we'd be doing all kind of dirt right up into the point of transition. But if we were doing it that way, we would die because we play in the system. Understand that. So again, planes, that's what you are, like an airplane. And the runway is the length of your life. Except that you don't know how long the runway is, and you better take flight before the runway runs out. So if your runway is 100 years, but you're not trying to wait 100 years because you know you may not have 100 years. So when you start taxiing down the runway, you begin to take flight as early as you can, because you can't assume that your runway is going to be 100 years. It might be 22 years. And here you are, 21 years old, taxiing down the runway. Well, you'll never gain up enough speed to take flight. And you fall off into that body of water that all airports have to have around them, whether it's a man-made lake or whatever. So don't taxi and take for granted, oh, I know my runway is going to be long. It might be short. Take flight as early as you can. And what do I mean by that? Gain your wisdom and your knowledge and your understanding early on. Every opportunity that you can have to grow and have a worthwhile conversation. Not, I must go somewhere and drink. Let us go somewhere. What? Put alcohol in my body and sit around and do what? Is that making me better or giving me a pot gut? I don't want to walk around like I'm in the 3rd trimester of pregnancy. No. What wisdom can I get from this world? But I will defend my peace of mind. Don't bring that foolish low vibrational stuff around me. And I know about the low vibrational stuff. I had my period of decadence. There was no one no more decadent than me. And I'm not talking about with drugs and liquor, but with women. I used to do some crazy, freakish things that the movie that was playing, the porno movie was playing. They stopped doing what they do and they looking at me. God, dog, he freaking than us. I just got to tell it like it is. So don't think I'm some angel. Don't think I'm some righteous. People say, oh, you're a man of God. Well, I might reflect a little bit here and there, but I've been through this place. I know what they mean, but I'm not claiming that like that shyster that got locked up. Lamar Whitehead. No, you got to come up from the gritty to be able to speak it where people will feel that you're speaking truth because you're speaking from experience. I don't need to quote no book. And let me tell you something. I was raised in the church. My mother sung in different churches. She graduated from Juilliard School of Music, and she had an operatic voice out of this world. But because she had a child very young, my older brother, she had to abandon that and take care of him. And then she met my father and had me. But she had one of the most powerful, beautiful operatic, not some screaming and none of that, a real voice. And we used to go to her rehearsals. And I'm not a singer. I know a lot about it, but I'm not a singer. But I'm not afraid to get up in front of people and speak. It came out with me in bodybuilding when I was not afraid to get up and show my body for a trophy, among other things. So these things are in us. But I learned from her. I learned from my father. They taught me things that are in me. I'm from a different pedigree. And some people say, oh, you think you're better. My choices are better. My mind is higher. If you choose to wallow down and waste your runway, that's on you. Because you know what? This could possibly be my last video. And you say, oh man, he was so full of life yesterday and he's gone today. That day is coming for not only me, but all of us. I've said it before. You know how many people I know that I was messaging on Facebook, text messaging, Instagram, all of these things we hit Twitter. And you get a call from a mutual friend or a message on the same platform. You know so-and-so passed away. You know so-and-so got shot. What? They messaged me 2 hours ago. And then you find out. How you think that make me feel? My number's coming up. So I better do the right thing, not only by what I say, but what I do and what I do for myself. Like in the sport of boxing, it says, protect yourself at all times. What does that mean in life? Protect your peace of mind. Protect your standard of living. Protect how you think. Protect your mind. Protect your boundaries. Ain't no enemy coming around me to take my mind off. No, that's war. That's how you start a war. Every animal in the jungle can live peaceably. And they're gifted with the instincts to protect them. But once they drop their guard and do something foolish, they are open for the attack on something from that's higher up on the food chain. Then they got you. Then you become food. Then you running because you know you're somewhere you ain't supposed to be. So you can have peace in the jungle, but somebody is food for everybody. Don't get caught slipping. And right about now, I don't mind chewing up my prey. You get in my way, I'm going to chew you up. And see, I'm not supposed to be this way right now. I'm not supposed to be. I'm going to make up a word right now. I'm going to make up a word. I'm not supposed to be so testosteronized right now. I'm supposed to be some beat down old black man who I'm just glad to be here to get along. Can't we all get along? I know you don't like me. I know you don't like me because of the color of my skin. I still love you because Jesus said to love you. I ain't one of them Negroes. Or let's just say it like it is. I'm not one of them niggas. I'm the kind of nigga that you don't see after a while, and you see me up on the rooftop. Maybe you won't. Pow, pow. I have no love for my enemies. I have no love for anybody who speaks against me or gossips against me. I have no love for these people because I'm trying to stay in this dimension where I am, but I can't help but see things for what it is. I'm like the hawk flying above all of the woods, and I can spot something that you can't spot because you down in that dimension. And I'm way up here, and I can look down and see you for what you are. And that's one of the reasons why I left America, but my battles are not over because you got just as much people here who got that same spirit against our own people. Crabs in the barrel. And some people want to knock crabs in the barrel, but it's so true. You stay down in the barrel. It's a big world out here. And I'm going to live, and nothing is going to stop me from living and vibrating at the highest vibration. And that's what they don't like. How do you think they feel when they see the internet now and see the beautiful places all over the world, especially the motherland, when they took decades on their television sets to make it seem like there's nothing here? Some white man got on there and wanted to waste all this time arguing with me. Well, what about the wars over there? What about the killings over there? Well, guess what? People that look like you have a hand in turning some of us against each other for their benefit so we can kill each other so they can get the resources underfoot. That's why. And you have corrupt leaders here who will sell out their people and don't give a damn because now they've been brainwashed to think everything in the UK is better. I am educated in the UK in the best universities there. And you a damn fool going against your people because it should be about your people first. And why not? Everybody else does it. But when we do it, you say it's racism. What kind of jacked up mess is that? We can't play by the rules that you play by. But when we do it, you won't say it's racist. And then when we're turned over to you and some of us who still believe in you, you do them so dirty and they want to say, well, Jesus said, you know, love thy enemy. Really? You in a war and you're going to love your enemy? We in a war and the enemy line has been drawn. I'm trying to take you out. And we ain't talking about taking you out to dinner. I'm trying to rid you out of my life. A good chunk of it is gone and more to come. And when they give me that look, when I'm out here, when I see them far in between, though, but they are here, they'll give me that look because, see, I got a different walk about me. I see what you're looking at me like that for. You need to go back to America. Go back to where you came from. They don't know what to say. I say, you're a minority here. What you talking about? They're the world minority anyway. 9% of the population. Ain't that something they got so much of us fooled? I've seen people come from America where it feels good to be over here in the motherland where everybody look like us, even though we the minority. Where are you the minority? They got your brain turned upside down. That those who lack color are the majority of the world? Because they keep bombarding you with images and videos of pictures of them like they rule the world. And yes, they are in position because they're going to keep it that way. They're not going to say willingly give up and say, well, since we're not the majority, we'll just let you take over. No, they're not going to do that. They want to make sure their kids are straight, their grandkids will be in position. And that's not racism? And hold you down and make the system work against you and turn around and talk about, oh, well, you're killing and shooting each other. Are you going to blame the white man for that? Yes, I am. Because he set the system up that way. We don't have the opportunities in the inner cities. There's drugs being pumped in. Who got the planes? How did they get there? How did they get all the way from the other countries and come over here and get in the neighborhoods? And those little black boys who have nothing in their head because you snuffed out a whole generation with crack and there ain't no daddies around. So they can't make good decisions, and the mothers have to work 2 and 3 jobs. If they can work 2 and 3 jobs, because some of them are victims too, smoking crack and sucking off men, getting diseases, and these kids got to see this stuff in their household and go to school. They ain't got no food, and they got to go to school and pay attention to school, and the schools don't care anyway, pass them along. It's a system. And it's a system that they don't mind it having its continuation, because it's doing the job for them, so they can kick back now and splice up and patch together statistics in a way to make us look like we're animals. Anybody would be an animal and act like an animal in that kind of environment. Why did it not come out that way? My parents were on my ass from young, and I knew not to go that way. But I understand why some of us take that route. I have a deeper understanding. I don't have to go to a white man's school to understand the inner workings of my people inside those conditions. And this is what I do. I didn't come online knowing that there's going to be anything called YouTube, anything in 2022, almost 2023. I started out in 2001 as a dude sitting up in a jail, working my shift, just sketching paper drawings on paper bags and making jokes and having fun with the guys who they call inmates. I always drew good when I was back in the 70s. I drew better than I do now. And then when I got on different interviews because of the art, I started writing because of the art, because I was getting 100, 150, 200 emails a day from all over the world. I said, let me write about it. Oh, we like your writing. Now I'm doing 2 things. Then I'm getting interviews. Oh, man, you need to have your own show. I said, I ain't come out here for that. I'm not somebody to talk like that amongst my friends or whatnot, but I'm not looking for no fame like that. But here we are. So I accept it. So many people want that because they want to get that little adrenaline rush of, yes, I'm important. I can construct a fake persona and get up there on the podium too. But what happened? It ain't working out. A lot of folks come and you teach them things, whatever, and they run off mad, trying to stop you from doing what you always did. And they learn from you. And now they go out on the waters now and try to row their own boat and sink. It ain't no competition here. I'm only about doing me, but I want to walk along with other brothers and sisters who are about doing them, because we understand the satisfaction that comes from applying yourself and your individual talents and your gifts. That's a satisfaction. And we all have our own lane, even if our lanes are similar. Brother Ayapo is a very talented young man here. He writes books and does graphics and the videos and whatnot. What? When the brother passes gas, I smell creativity. But we got to appreciate and support one another. But we go hating on each other, different people. I'm not saying him. No, me and him are cool. I mean, everybody here is cool. But my name is LanceScurv, and I'm going to do what LanceScurv is supposed to do. You don't see the mango tree getting jealous of the apple tree. You don't see the pineapples getting jealous of the potatoes that are underground. They all have their lane. When you have restaurants like in Columbus Avenue in Manhattan, above 59th Street, you go up a little higher, then you have Broadway, and you have all the restaurants in between. You could have, in one block, one city block, across the street from each other, you could have 3 different types of Chinese food from different parts of China, Italian restaurants, Japanese restaurants. Do the restaurants get jealous of each other because you ain't going to want to eat at one restaurant all the time? Do you go to the same store in the mall and don't check out the other ones? No, you go in and you look around. It's good for everybody. Sometimes it's slow for one and busy than for the other. It's the season. But if you do genuinely what you must do from inside of the heart, you'll never lose. And getting back to the racism, it's still relevant to what I'm saying, because you're so busy fighting off the system that you waste energy manifesting what is inside of you. One of the things I fantasized the most about was to be able to be free to manifest my talents. But you got to deal with this racism on the job, racism in school, them trying to implant thoughts in your mind, plant thoughts in your mind to go a different direction that's not threatening to them, meaning that it's threatening to their control over you and your community. Like, you're not supposed to have your own doctors and lawyers in your own community. You're not supposed to have your own schools and banks in your own community. They got to have their hand in it, but yet they hate you and don't want to be around you. But they don't want to see you gain. They don't want to see you get that money. They see you at the red light with a nice BMW, a nice Benz, a Jaguar, whatever. He must be a drug dealer. Call the cops and pull him over. You know, Karens. You got male Karens too, that they're so used to the free ride that racism has given them with the privilege they have in that country, that when you beat the odds, you must be doing something wrong. You got to be. The amount of white people that come over here and build beautiful homes with stunning views off of a cliff, off of the side of a mountain. Like, what the heck? Pennies on the dollar, because the land is so affordable. Out more and closer to the cities is getting expensive. But you can live good out here. You can live good out here. But see, the problem is with so many of us that come out here, we say we're glad to get away from racism, but we haven't corrected that thing that's inside of ourselves that makes us go against the others that look like us. You know, there was a man who, let me take a sip of this tea. It's getting cold, but you know, cold tea is good too, just like cold pizza. Hold on, y'all. Oh man, you know, I love all kind of exotic teas and herbs, but there's something about the good old fashioned Lipton tea. Black tea. The 2 tea bags put in the bad boy. The flavor is so nice. Sweeten that up a little bit, boy, that's better than candy. But like I said, there's so many of us that we come over here and we go through the motions of the name change and we get down and kiss the ground. But we bring so much bullshit from America with us, from the West with us. We haven't changed ourselves. We still have the jealousies and the envies and wanting to stop people from doing what they do. You can't stop me. There's enough who've tried and they're frustrated every time they see the notification. Damn it, he's doing it again. Oh my God, he's got a full chat room. How does he do it? Day in and day out, sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day, running a website, writing things, just vibing. We've got to stop him. They continue the racism over against their own people because that's all they know that was done to us. You see, when you were molested, those of us who were, and I'm not being funny, it's hard. It's hard to either not shut down completely sexually or become somebody who becomes a molester. And it's a pain that we don't want to face. But see, with the things that have been done to us, it's our responsibility to clean it up. We got to look within and face ourselves and clean it up. I've tried to speak with so many people and be there for so many people who have been through so much pain. And a lot of them will turn around and give you the finger like you never did nothing. Oh, really? Then you're on your own. Now I'm going to focus my energies on me because I got a couple little things I need to clean up from within. I'm almost there. Nothing super major. But now I need to go on to work because people can be so ungrateful. And it's just like loaning money. Don't give anything that you can't afford to lose. See? And when people take advantage of you, and it's not just about money, when they take advantage of your good graces that way, they basically paid you to stay away. Okay, you got what you got. I'm not mad at you, but you can't get no more. Stay over there with your needy ass. You can't get no more. You effed it up for yourself. And that's what I say to America. Even if I was to go back and visit in America, or for some reason go back to live in America, I was out of America long before I left there. Anybody who knows me well knew that I didn't want to be there. I had my fill from young. I already knew I don't want to be around this place. I got to deal around with these people. That automatically when you walk into the room, you're a criminal? No, I can't do that. Automatically when they walk into the room, they're the one in charge? Because they know the system supports that foolishness? Systems and policies, actions and attitudes create inequitable opportunities and outcomes for people based on race. So you're in such a low dimension. But you know what? I could understand the pink parasite. The pink parasite is the lowest on the totem pole. The pink parasite is scared because the pink parasite has a weak DNA that won't carry them forth. And they're angry at us who have this spiritual connection. So they're like that little midget that can't reach the top shelf without the ladder. And all love and respects go to the little people out there in the world, but I had to use that analogy. As a matter of fact, I had a midget girlfriend one time for a couple weeks, and we had fun. Like, this dude's crazy. Yeah, I did it. I did it and loved it too. Gave her a nickname, Midgie. She loved it too. You could call me Midgie. And I said, I'm not ashamed to come over here and visit you at night. I'm going to walk down the street with you when we walk to the market. Here I am walking with a midget. Tell me I'm lying, those who know me. I ain't got no time to be holding no stuff in. Oh man, SCURV was talking about he was hitting this midget. Midget turned me out too. Let me get a sip of this tea. I think somebody put something in it. I'm talking crazy. You know I got to make you laugh. But that's the truth though. Now that I made one confession, there's so many more to tell. But this thing here, it's unseen, but very much felt and in place. And it's not just a white person calling you nigger. It's something that's ingrained in the world system. And it's ingrained in many of our minds. Even when we get away from it, we execute the same ways of the people who did the same thing to us. So really, it's something that we have to be very careful. We have to vet who is around us. And we just can't go on surface value because people will act like the Trojan horse to get in your good graces before they show their ass. But I'm not going to sit here and allow anybody to stay that way. It all must get around you. You must purge yourself of this mentality. Unless you come to that position in life where you operate on the fourth dimension. Like I said, when you have the hawk flying up above, he can see everything and swoop down even over the water and grab some fish. So until you reach that fourth dimension that most others won't understand, they'll think you're crazy. How do you know this about this person? You can't say that, but it always comes true after a while. So I have no time to slow down to explain to somebody who is driving in a slow mentality lane and wait for them to catch up. I must spread my wings and fly and operate the way I'm empowered to operate. Like I said, it's just like boxing. Protect yourself at all times, no matter who it comes from. And if I'm making psychobabble, then I'm just a crazy man, but maybe I'm making some sense. And that's what will alienate me in the future. Like I said, there was a statement that was made. So I'm going to tell the story real quick. It's something that's current. It's on the Griot, I think. There was a man in Philadelphia who was exonerated over 6 murders, but he spent so many decades in prison. And so he's out now, and he's in his early 60s, 61, 62. And he was out for maybe 1 year, 2 years or something like that. And he went to attend the funeral of another person that he knew that was incarcerated and got out. And that person was exonerated, and, you know, he didn't do it, but he spent the time in there, but he died. So he went to the funeral. And when he went to the funeral, people pulled up on him as soon as he got out the car and shot him in the head and killed him. So you got to be careful who you have around. The very people you break bread with will know the inner workings of your world and be envious of it. Who was jealous of him to want to kill him like that when he didn't even do the murder? But just being associated with certain people, a certain spirit comes over you. But they can tell you certain things, but they don't want to understand that it works both ways. I don't want certain spirits around me. I grew up seeing that. My mother grew up telling me, Lance, you have the gift of spiritual discernment. As young as you are, you can see things that no child is supposed to see. Not seeing some ghost walking around. I've seen things. Last night I was in the bed and a couple things on the shelf rattled in the kitchen. That happens to me all the time. It's an energy thing. I'm on a different dimension, although I talk normal like everybody else. I'll tell you that straight up. And this is what makes it difficult for me to be around venomous people with the Colgate smiles on their face. And until we get to that point, we're never going to defeat this thing called racism. It's a lower level vibration. And as long as we stay on their level, they'll always have the upper hand. We got to go higher on a spiritual level. And when they see that you truly vibrate on that and you are a warrior for that, they will always run when they see you coming. Granted, guaranteed. That's what my mother told me, and she ain't never lied to me. And I see it to be so true. And I ain't quoting no Bible. There are laws that we know. Even a cat. A newborn kitten that's on unsteady legs. That kitten knows the law. And what do I mean by that? Go up to a high rise. Go to the top floor and place that kitten on the edge of the building where if the wind blows too strong, he's going to fall off. He's going to look down and be like, I'm getting away from this edge. We are born knowing certain laws. When that dog doo-doos in a certain part of the house he ain't supposed to doo-doo in, and you come back from the store and he looking all sorry, sticking his tongue out, waiting for the whipping because he knew he did wrong. So we can't play dumb. And we as human beings, when certain things are verbalized to us in America, spelled with 3 Ks, we need to know. Why are we looking for hope in that system? The land didn't do me no harm. The sky, the lakes, the streams, beautiful in America. But it's that system I want to get away from. And it's all over the world. So I really want to get away from. But when I brought up the story of the guy getting shot in the head, one thing, he was a person who loved solitude. And he loved to be by himself. He always helped out other inmates, even though he was there as an innocent man, wrongly accused and jailed and imprisoned. But he was one to always want to help. And in doing so, he had a lot of people who loved him, right? And after he got out, it was a little bit of a test for him because I read several stories. Some just reported the facts and some got into it. And this is a mixture of all of them. And he said, you know what? He missed the solitude of his jail cell. Now, here's a man who didn't do the crime they said he did, and they let him out. But he missed the solitude of his jail cell because there he can write, he can think, he can create. And he had a heck of a mind on him to affect so many people. Somebody didn't like that. Because some of us are chosen for that. It ain't no thing where you get your turn, I get my turn. You're made in a special way to do what it is that you do. I always admired Muhammad Ali, and I always thought I was a good fighter. But I'm not Muhammad Ali. I'm going to be mad at Muhammad Ali for being the greatest fighter of all times. I'm going to be mad at Mike Tyson for being one of the greatest. I admire what they did, but my thing is to be great in a different lane. The problem is when we all want to covet what the next man has. If I build a tiny house, I'm mad at the guy that had a big house. I want a bigger mansion. Oh, you got a new car? I'm going to get a newer car. I'm going to get a more expensive car. Or you got 10 women? I'm going to get 20 of them. And then you die. And what were you pursuing? Ain't nobody talked about anybody at somebody's funeral. Hey, man, you know, man, he had some good rims on that car 20 years ago. They forget about you. Like I said, that video clip that's going around when they say what happens when you die. And the next week, your children have to go into work because they don't spend up their time, the death time that they get when somebody dies. Like, oh, time's up. You got to come back to work. And even if they're ailing on the inside, missing you, crying, you got to come back to work. Look at what Muhammad Ali said. You think you own your wife? Die and come back 2 years later in your bedroom and peek through the window and see who she got in the bed with her, giggling and laughing, doing the same things to you or to him that she used to do to you. Hopefully not everybody. Hell, you don't got to wait two years for that. You can maybe go 2 weeks or 2 days. This is a journey. It doesn't last forever. This is an experience. And when you understand that this is an experience, you can't take these situations too serious. Like I said on the rooftop the other day, these realities that we are around, and to the brother that wrote me the note, it touched me. From Tampa area, it touched me. I'm not going to reveal what he said because it was a private message to me and I got it last night. It really touched me and really, really gave me more push to do what it is that I do. Whatever it is you think I do and you like it, then I'm going to keep on doing it. And it's not a matter of ego. Because like I said, when I first got out there, I had no pictures out there of me. I had a little tiny picture that you had to get a magnifying glass to look. All you saw was a bald head. I never thought my voice would go out there. I didn't come here for that. But if I'm to be used that way, then so be it. The overwhelming majority enjoy what we do here. I'm going to keep on doing it. The few who don't like it, kick rocks. Find a damn purpose in your life instead of hating on me. Seriously, it's funny. Because I know the more I shine, the more you're going to hate it. I ain't going to stop. And there are people that shock me that have tried their best to stop this platform. Now I'm going to go harder now that I know it. Like Muhammad Ali, when the guy said he was never going to call him Muhammad Ali, I'm going to call you Cassius Clay. So what's my name? What's my name? You go online and things pop up. You got people out here that said my platform was going to die, but they use my name because they know the name has a little pull on the internet to think they can pull in some hits. And even that ain't working. You're really hoping to advertise my channel. I'm getting more from what you're doing. Thank you. These novices, like Mike Tyson said, how dare they challenge me with their primitive skills. Sometimes it's good to flex. Sometimes it's good to do the Ali shuffle. Sometimes it's good to say you're the greatest because, you know, there's so many factions in this world to tear us down that if we have a little bit of confidence in what we do independent of the white man, oh, you're cocky. But when you have confidence in what they set you up to do, you're patriotic. You get the Negroes that get into the military. Yes, I wanted to fight for my country. And so, Negro, do you realize what this country is all about? And you want to fight for them? So what? They can continue to do the things that they do? Oh, you'll find out. Live in America a little bit. You will find out. And you defending that? Oh, that kind of confidence or false confidence, they will back up. Yes, you're a great patriotic Negro. And try getting sick. And you gave your life to this country. And you got to go to the VA and beg them for pennies on the dollar, and they don't even treat you right. If you give your life for anything, you need to be able to live comfortable for the rest of your life and have no delay in your treatment. But I know too many people who are like that. And some who still talk the talk. Well, this is my homeless veterans out in the street. The only ones I know that were done dirty this way have families that have taken care of them for a while until they get on their feet. They're yelling at this girl here. But she may have grown up to have a son that went in the military. But these white folks hate him. I didn't realize I was an American until September 12th, 2001. What? Before that, I was a potential thug, a thief, a bum, a lowlife, a drug dealer, a womanizer. I'm not saying anybody specifically said that to me, but the society paints us that way. And then after 9/11 happened, all the way, we're all Americans. We have to fight the enemy. Oh, because I'm a tool that you want to use for your benefit. And when you're done with that tool, you want to throw it away. We're in a post-racial society. They used to love to say that. That same spirit that's on this banner is still alive. It's still alive and well, and it ain't going nowhere until these people die off. And you know what? If you took all of them and made them all get off the face of the earth, We still bleaching our skin. We're still straightening our hair. See? So the white people and their system that's brainwashed us, people talk about the Holy Ghost. Ain't no Holy Ghost other than the Holy Ghost of them who's in your mind. Unfortunately, we see this girl did something to her hair. Well, that was the time that things were in. We understand that. But what's going on now that we can't appreciate our real beauty? Why can't we? What is it about us that's so marred and messed up that we will change what we are? Now, we can understand them wanting to be us because, you know, that white woman's two-dimensional backside, she can travel anywhere for the price of a stamp. Just lick it, stick it on the backside, and jump in the mailbox. She can go anywhere. So she sees you in your shape. She don't like it. She sees you in your color. She don't like it. That's why they made fun of us in the color of our skin and how big our lips were. Our lips ain't big. Our lips are natural. Why you say big? Compared to what? No, this is the way it should be. You got slits that you got to shoot shots inside your lips. And you do it bold now because that's an admission that your beauty is inferior. That's like filling up a whole room with artificial plants and wondering not why no bees try to pollinate the plant because it's plastic, it's fake. Birth rates going down. People out here, even in the ghettos, eating bad food, cheese doodles and fried chicken and Chinese food and sugary sodas, and they plopping out babies like it's left and right, and you go into the fertility clinic and still can't get none. That's what I see. That's what, but you can't talk like that. You must honor them. Love yourself. Loving yourself is hating them in this world. Wanting to be around yourself and your kind, truly your kind. Not the kind that just look like you, but hate you, but your kind, progressive, looking to aspire to be the best that you can be. How can I run a race with somebody who's sitting down on their ass all day doing nothing and got nothing in their head? How can I get better? How can I get incrementally better? Each day. You see, when you see these homes being built with cinder blocks, they didn't throw the cinder blocks up in the air and it fell down into a house. You had to make a plan, which required thought. Then you had to get the measurements right, approximate how much materials you're going to need, and take the time and labor incrementally, brick by brick. So when you see that I have 5,000 plus videos out here, it didn't happen overnight. I had to weather many storms. I had to go through a lot. Times I didn't want to do it. Times I was too tired and had to take a rest for a day and came back and did 2 or 3 more to make up for the difference. But from the very beginning, I had to have a purpose and a sense of self and a commitment to myself, because I said, you know what I'm going to do is so great. And it's going to be something that takes time. And you're not going to see it right now. But we believe in the white man's situations more than we do in ourselves. They put up a picture outside. 3 years from now, there'll be this great mall, and you go around, oh yeah, it's gonna be there. But we say something about what we gonna do. Oh, that nigga ain't about nothing. He ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't about sugar, honey, iced tea. And when you do, they're looking at you in amazement. And before they start trying to tear you down, they want to give you props. Oh, I knew you can do it. I heard the talk. You don't tell me that you knew that I can do it. What are you, crazy? So when we get away from the racism and understand what it is, we got to get it out of ourselves, because a lot of us, we willingly dance the racist dance from our side. We complied. If something is out there trying to stop you from doing what it is that you're supposed to do to ascend to be the highest vibration, the highest manifestation of who you are, if it gets in your way, you steamroll it. You cannot negotiate with something that's trying to tear you down and trying to steal, kill, and destroy you. It cannot happen. Raw reality, welcome on in. See? That's just how it is. Now listen, brother man, got to take a shower. It's 12:07. I thought it was like 9 o'clock. I woke up from early and I'm like, man. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to come back. I'm going to grab something to eat. I may write something or lay down for 30 minutes and come back. But this little fire that was up inside of me, I had to get it off, you know, righteously. And there was no sexual connotations when I said that. But if you want to take it that way, fine. We climax together in this conversation. And I mean that on a spiritual level. But every day you have a purpose. You have to ask what it is that you're supposed to do for yourself and your legacy, because you're not always going to be here. What is the proof of you being here on a positive level? How many people did you touch? I cannot touch people in their heart and in their mind if I'm sitting somewhere putting smoke in my head, smoking some artificial weed, or even weed for that matter. Your brain is not made for smoke. If you can't reach the spiritual level through righteous living, putting something artificial and making you high out of your mind to imagine stuff and start talking stupid out your head, it ain't going to work. You need to breathe in some air, and they polluting that. How can I get better putting alcohol in my system? How can I get better not motivating? Look, even Scarface said it. Men got balls, and I don't break them for nobody. And I don't stop what I'm doing for nobody. I'm going to find some way to create, and some sad people who are like, damn, we couldn't stop them. They out there just watching and pissed off. You don't know my intensity. You don't know what I'm here for. I know why I'm here. And the worst thing is to mess with somebody who knows the purpose and knows where they're going. You go to a strange city and you start driving around, don't know how to get around. You think you're driving down the road 60 miles an hour? You don't know where you're going. You're going to drive around all slow until you learn the place. I know my city. I know my lane. I know where I'm going. When I pop a video out, bing, 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 ricochet rabbit, I do this thing quick with ease. Like a Mike Tyson combination that he practiced for hours and days and years and decades in the gym. It pops off effortlessly. How the hell are you going to stop something like that? You're going to stand in the middle of a track and try to punch a locomotive. And stop it. It don't work that way. There's a little word called momentum. And if you don't have momentum, you need to try to get some. Because when you are driving down the road 100 miles an hour and you take your foot off the pedal, you're going a long way without even having to make any effort. And that's where I am now. I know my game. And I'm going to keep running it until the day I transition and I'm called to the next level. But mentally, I'm already in the fourth dimension. I'm already flying high like that hawk. So I can see things. I'm way up in the air. You don't even know I'm there sometime. And when I choose to pick a topic to speak about or something to create, I swoop down, get it, knock it out real quick, because that's my DNA. This is what I'm built for. This is what I'm made to do. How dare you try to get in my way? It ain't going to happen. We got more coming today. I don't know how or what the inspiration is going to be. I can manufacture some things, but it's going to come effortlessly. There's no script for this. An hour and 29 minutes I've been talking. I didn't even know what I was going to say. I made the banner and said, I'm going to talk about racism. Boom! Because I live this. I don't have to steal quotes from somebody else's video. I don't have to quote people. I know my own experience in my own lane. And as a creator, Brother Ayapa will tell you it comes from the heart. Just be peaceful and in that quiet place to let the creativity flow. That's all you have to do. I just want to say much love to you all. It's really nice being here. And I really look forward to vibing with you all the time. Leave your comments below. Make sure to download the LanceScurv app. I haven't even been I kept the definition of racism down at the bottom, scrolling across for those who don't know, but we're going to say it again. For all those who want to say, I'm racist, I don't have the power to do to you what you've done to us and setting up a system against us. Racism is the process by which systems and policies, actions and attitudes create inequitable opportunities and outcomes for people based on race. If you don't understand that, you're stupid. And there's a reason why the word is in the dictionary. And this is from their sources of Oxford Languages and Google. I pulled it from that. That's what you say. So you tell it on yourself. I don't have no power over you to be racist over you to stop you from doing stuff. But if a country don't want to be bothered with you and don't want your people in there who traditionally have been against us, and then you got the others, we're all pulling together, black and white. Well, where was your ass during slavery and all through the South? Jim Crow coming on up. Huh? You see the things, you hear the things around the dinner tables talked about. You don't say nothing then because you don't want to be considered a nigger lover. I know your dilemma. It's okay. You can do all of that stuff on your own. I don't want to be around you. But anybody who carries your mind. That's why a lot of us as men get in trouble. Oh, God, look at her. Oh, she's so fine. Look at that little waistline. Oh, God, look at that legs. Oh, and now you're at the clinic the next Monday, itching with purple ooze coming out the head of your penis, all because something looked good. And for all those who live out of America who want to go over there, a lot of you all are in for a rude awakening. A lot of you all are in for a rude awakening because you have places where you come from, like here in the motherland, with all the resources in the world that everybody in the world takes from, and you want to go there, get treated this way, and you realize sometimes you can't even come back. You get so caught up in the system. I don't believe it. I come here and I wanted to come to America to do so well, and now I can't even get enough money up to go back home. Now you realize how good home is. There's stresses and there's issues over here, but the dimension I'm on, it doesn't really bother me. I'm just going to make up for what I wasn't able to do in that place as I fought off all of these systems. You're on a job and they're trying to fire you, trying to hold you down. You're in the school and they don't give you the grades that you deserve. You get brainwashed friends that come after you when you come into this awakening. What kind of world are we living in? So just like that brother who was killed when he was in jail or prison, and he was innocent, he prefers the solitude of his cell. And after all I've been through in this world, I don't want no more. I prefer the solitude of being still, being quiet, being away from fake people, gossipy ass people, do nothing ass people. Can I have that in my little corner of the world? Can I have that? You got the whole world to drop your dirt. Let me just have the solitude of myself that I enjoy very much. And these fools get mad when they realize you prefer the solitude of yourself because they see the work that comes out of it. And they don't like that because it shows them up. What I do in a day, most people can't do in a month. This is not bragging. You see, you talk about, well, let's praise the Lord and give glory to God. Well, if God made me and everything I do, it is a testimony to the Most High. Do I have to go around saying it all the time? I'm a living example. I'm not supposed to be. I came up in America and I wasn't in no poor neighborhood. I was in a middle class neighborhood. But all the things that happened to me, all the bullets that I have dodged symbolically, beat down by 11 police officers. You think I don't got PTSD? Keep trying me and you'll find out. Let me work out my stuff in the solitude of my own self instead of getting mad and breaking somebody's neck or busting somebody up, because if I'm ever taken there on a righteous level, I will have no shame doing it. I'm not a tough guy. But if I flip, you'll be like, oh my God, Lance did that. Look at Brother Cosmo. Me and him used to always have great conversations. And he had things that were stressing him that ticked him off. Had an interview with him in May, late May. And in middle July, he went and killed 3 cops. And I will say that this was the most, at 29 years old, he was such a deeply spiritual brother and wrote 3 books. And they were harassing him and targeting him. And something made him snap. Be careful. Just because we're brilliant and smart and you assume I have sense don't mean I can't snap on you if you come at me the wrong way. I seem to be snapping more and more, which is a good thing because I'm cleansing. I want to go higher. I want to get to the next level. I want to, when I transition, I want to get into that world because all the people that I know that are righteous are there. Some bad people, they transition. That don't mean you go into a good place. I'm just sick and tired of the games of this world. You play a little kiddie games. You stay with that. Just keep the F away from me. You know what I mean? so I can do what I'm supposed to do here, because my time is coming down. You think it's going up? I heard a pastor tell some people, well, we live on forever in the flesh. Nigga died the next year. I hate to say it that way. I'm going to say it that way for a fact. That nigga died the next year. What are you telling these people? Your spirit goes on. But if it's not, look, when you go in your kitchen and you cook and you peel potatoes, you don't use the skin goes in the garbage. There's nutrients in the skin. But if it doesn't serve the purpose of being a dinner for you on your plate, you get rid of it. And that's the law of this universe. If you don't justify your existence by being something good, you're not going to go on to the next level. And you only ain't walking around scared. This ain't no Bible talk or no church talk. I'm telling you, that's how it is. Nature is the best teacher. So if you carry a bad spirit, trust me, you will end up in a bad place. Anyway, let me bounce out of here. LanceScurv out. Much love to you all. Download the LanceScurv app. Go to LanceScurv.com. Leave some comments. That's everything I've ever done is on LanceScurv.com. You just have to search around in the archive pages, whatever. I kind of toned it down, but there's thousands of articles, videos, drawings, everything that are there. 22 years, this February of 2023, it'll be 22 years of everyday work there. And I know that pisses a lot of people off, but that's what it is. My website is the line between my birth date of 1963, April 8th, and whenever time I transition. It's not just a dash that nobody knows about. Don't worry about the dash. Matter of fact, if I have a tombstone, I'm going to put it in LanceScurv.com. Anyway, y'all, much love. I will talk to you, and it's been great. It's really, thank you so much. Thank you. Come on, Farrakhan, let's go. Let's get this music going.
Why are we called Negroes?
It's
Why
stuck or it's buffering. Well, anyway, you know what
Why
time it
is
is, y'all.
everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind?
So far behind.
Why are we mistreated?
Why
are we in this condition?
3 years old.
Stripped of our name, our language, our culture, our God,
our religion,
and our religion. Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history, which rewards all research and tells us plainly that before the white man gained entry to the East, he was living in the caves of Europe, a ravenous beast, eating juniper roots and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then, following Marco Polo, an explorer, he gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China, he took silk and gunpowder. From India, he took jute, manganese, and rubber. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. From the Mideast, he took barrels of oil untold, raping, robbing, and murdering everything in his path. The whole black world has tasted of the white man's wrath. So, my friend, it's not hard to tell. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. to America, we were living in the east. By the Nile River, we were living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes and slippers of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell. When the white man came to America, he told the Indian, I am your white brother. He said, red man, I'll treat you the best. Yet and still he pushed the Indian further west with his white woman and firewater. Tricks and lies, he stole America. The original owner of this nation is cooped up on a reservation. So my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven, black man hell. He needed someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man, so he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise, on his body put a price. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is a black man hell.